Hey guys, Captain Ensign here with another EU collection update. Decided to do something a bit different. Instead of showcasing the new additions on the shelf, I decided to show them more one-on-one. Figured that'd be a better way to really showcase what I have rather than just having them already on the shelf. Don't know if, and plus, good way to just look at everything without needing to constantly move around the shelf. Anyway, so first off, start off with the epics. Empire Volume 8, which should be the last of the Empire volumes, which is great. Really gearing or winding down in terms of these epics, along with Tales of the Jedi Volume 3, I believe. Maybe this is it. I think we might have one more of these. Oh, wait, no. Okay. I was thinking of Old Republic content, so yeah, I think this should be the last Tales of the Jedi epic. That'll be great. So I'm excited to see us wrapping up the epics. Of course, plenty of comics. Of course, we already have announcements up until midway through this year, but we still have stuff to collect, like plenty of tie-in material to the Clone Wars micro series as well as TCW. I hope those are collected somewhere. Maybe a few other miscellaneous stuff. I've done a web comics too. Don't know why the fuck those weren't collected, but hopefully we'll get those eventually. Now on to the novels. TCW No Prisoners. Decided to just go with the paperback. I will get the hardcover at some point, but considering the hardcover can go for like a couple $100, like I'd rather just get the story now and focus on the actual aesthetic of the book itself later. I got this off thrift books for like a few bucks. Not in the best condition, but Finally got Knight Errant. I have no idea why it took me so long to get this one. Still, this was another thrift books order for like a few bucks. Young Jedi Knights. I believe after this one, I only have one more book to get, and then I'll have this entire series. Yeah, another thrift books for like a few bucks. One of the TCW adaptations where they would take a few episodes and just adapt them into one book, although still split up into different sections. This one was written by Jason Fry. I mean, I started reading the Grievous Attacks book, and at least with that one, not a lot of changes I can see. It's basically one-to-one adaptations. So, that's a bit disappointing, but, still cool to have. This is another thrift books order. Really beat up, but again, whatever. Two more of the TCW Decide Your Destiny books. Lost Legion is, I believe, the third book. Dooku Secret Army is the fifth book, and I believe a UK exclusive for some reason. Again, thrift books, few bucks. I will say this though, like this would be a part of a larger topic I might do at some point, maybe with Luke Warren, I don't know. But like one of my big problems when it comes to the TCW time material is, with the exception of secret missions and maybe like a few other things I'm not thinking about, a lot of the time the covers, and this goes for video games and novels too, like No Prisoners, is that they'll just use material from the series itself or promo material rather than actually like create or illustrate new material. And normally I guess it's like whatever. I mean, I get it. And plus, I mean, Star Wars novels are are known for what I would consider lazy cover art. Just look at a lot of the Del Rey material from the prequel, or during the time of the prequel trilogy's release. But still, and I mean, like, I look at something like this, and when I first saw this cover on thrift books, I thought this was like some unofficial thing. Because, like, doesn't this might just be me, I don't know, but this to me just looks like something you'd find at a bootleg table. I don't know, I guess it might just be me, but still. And hey, I got another UK product that a certain other British-born individual doesn't. That's always nice. And now on to, well, first off, get into the upgrade. I finally got Vector Prime in a proper hardcover. Had the Science Fiction Book Club edition, so happy to have the real hardcover. Got this from a bookstore near my college. Say for like $6.50, so really good. Choices of one, the proper hardcover. I guess I should just say first edition hardcover. Got this on eBay for like, I want to say like $20. Happy to have this. Yeah. Alright, moving on to what I guess I'd consider the miscellaneous portion. Shiny as a Droid. One of two books with the gimmick of having a part of the book that you can touch. The other one is fuzzy as an Ewok, and from what I've seen, that one can be quite pricey. But still, this was another thrift books order for like a few bucks. I can appreciate the miscellaneous stuff like this. Got the Player's Guide for Lightsaber Duels that also doubles as one for Jedi Alliance. Got this at a comic convention for a few bucks. So, cool to have another Player's Guide. As I've said before, sometimes these can have new bits of lore, but overall it is just cool to have them, especially since, stuff like this, listing out the characters, having descriptions. Just to have that stuff in print. Although I already have the updated encyclopedia, I decided to go ahead and get... I can't remember if this was the first encyclopedia or just... Regardless, an earlier version of the encyclopedia, also with Thrift Books Order, for like a few bucks. I mostly got this just for the historical value. This was a late 90s release. You know, it's cool to get stuff like this just to see where Star Wars was at the time. Yeah, this was a 98. So yeah, like, you know, a time capsule of what we had in Star Wars circa 98. You know, prequel trilogy. So for, you know, someone getting into the EU, you know, something like this, like, it's outdated, but still good to have when you just want to look back at a particular time in Star Wars. Speaking of which, a year-by-year visual chronicle. This was the 2012 edition I built, 2010. So the reason I got this specific edition was because, you know, this is before Disney. This was, you know, before the Disney acquisition. So everything we get here is entirely the Lucas era of Star Wars. Although I may get one of the later editions at some point because, well, I mean, we have gotten EU content. A tiny bit, but still. Not to mention, just something like this is cool to have, just going through the history of a franchise year by year. You know, what came out during that year, maybe other pop culture stuff. So, you know, yeah, cool to have. So, this update took a while to get through. That's because I just get... I get pushing it off. So... Sorry. So a lot of the stuff I'm showing off here I've had for a while. These were some new... this was a recent purchase. More issues of Insider, specifically... 78, 79, 83, 85, 90, and 91. Got these issues for like, I don't know, about 15 to 20 bucks. And you know, aside from the short stories they come with, very similar to the year by year book, it's just not, and also the previous edition of the encyclopedia, it's cool to have a historical snapshot of Star Wars at particular points in time. So, and these issues were, as I'm sure you can tell, released around the time of Episode 3, the unequivocally greatest Star Wars movie of all time. And plus, I mean, I remember the advertising for Episode 3 so vividly. More than seeing the actual movie itself, but the trailers and stuff, the commercials, I remember it all. Okay. The original Topps Trading Card series, I got this at actually a boutique DVD store called The Archive. They have some merchandising outside of DVDs. You know, I got a whole book section, small but still. Found this for like $5, and plus it was their Black Friday sale, so this would have been like $2 to $3. Now, because I will never go out of my way to get any of the trading cards, I have my limits. Something like this is really good to have. You know, just having an archive of all these cards. Now, getting the Topps cards from like the 90s and stuff, that would be great. But still, cool to have. Now, these ones are an interesting bunch. These specifically were a birthday, or part of a birthday gift by my girlfriend Dasha. And you should notice something interesting about them. They are Russian editions of Star Wars books. Now, this one is a High Republic book, but still. This is a High Republic book, but still. Now here we have a Revan and Heir to the Empire. Revan just using, standard cover art. But Heir to the Empire using new cover art, which I think is really cool. It's been a while since I've read the book, so I don't remember if this is accurate. But still, it's nice when foreign markets get new covers. I mean, just look at a lot of the Japanese covers for various books that just do something completely different and even give designs to characters who've never been given designs. Weird. Now, there is something to say about these, but I'll save them for another video. It involves the English. It involves the timelines shown. But again, I'll talk about those at a later date. Okay, so continuing on with the miscellaneous stuff, this was the first gift I received from Dasha, a Garmin Darth Vader watch. Which I did open and did turn on, but I mean, this is such a high-end watch that I don't feel comfortable wearing it. So, I just keep it in the box, which, it is a nice-looking box. So, yeah, my girlfriend getting me Star Wars material. Gotta love her. Okay, now we get into the RPG portion of the update. First off, Adventure Journals 13 and 14. Got these from the same eBay seller. Want to say for I don't even remember, maybe like $50 each. Pretty good shape too. As I've said before, I'm going backwards when it comes to the Adventure Journals. Just to get the later releases out of the way. Because, I mean, when it comes to the first handful of issues, you can find them. There's no shortage of listings of them. So, happy to have these. Continuing with West End Games material, got Platt's Smuggler's Guide. Got this at that same local comic shop that I've gotten quite a few Star Wars RPG materials from. This one was $80. Stuff like this where it's like I could have gotten it on eBay, but not for much cheaper. And plus I was there, so it's like it only makes sense. Lords of the Expanse, $75 in box, supposedly complete. So this was great to get. The complete set of this. Yeah, not much to say here, but really cool to have. Also at that same comic shop, speaking of which, some Wizards of the Coast material, Galaxy at War, and Legacy Era Campaign Guide. $60. $50. Yeah, not much to say here, other than, happy to have these. The RPG material can be really fucking pricey on the secondary market, which is why I don't usually go after them. at least right now. So, you know, because that comic shop just had a whole ton of material, it's like, well, I'm not going to pass up that opportunity. So, yeah. Great. Alright, so hopefully you found the other material quite interesting. So now let's end things off with a bang. First off, I guess you call them the standard editions of the Star Wars archives. Decided to get I got these editions specifically because I thought there was no difference between these and the extra large editions, but I was wrong. The extra large editions have like a whole section each. But still, I mean, you know, happy to have, you know, small releases. I really want to read these too. That was the thing. Cat move. Really wanted to read these too, so it's like, why not? And plus, I mean, I can actually, like, display these, unlike the extra large edition. This was a Christmas gift from Dasha. Thanks, sweetheart. Yeah. So it's like, Dasha just saved me like $200. So it's like, thank you. It's just, and it's heavy too. Like, this is a serious fucking book with a capital B. So, you know, happy to have that, and I'm gonna keep it in the box for now. One, because I literally have no place to put it, and also, the box is cool. I like it. Alright, now for the not official quote-unquote stuff. The Essential Archives, blogs, and endnotes. Like I said, unofficial. This collects a lot of the online material, specifically, as you can see, the blogs on StarWars.com, the material that wasn't in the physical release of the Essential Atlas, as well as the Essential Guide to Warfare, and along with endnotes to other material. Because the thing with the Guide to Warfare and Atlas is, those two guides had a ton of material that was removed from the physical releases, but were, I mean, there was a specific word, but the material that was cut was checked for continuity and was released on the author's websites officially. So this material is official. And plus, it's just really great to have. Cat. Plus, Star Wars is one of those franchises that has so much material released online that I would consider it bullshit. So much material on websites that are either defunct or the websites themselves are defunct. Of course, a lot of that stuff is archived, but still, it's total fucking bullshit. So the fact that Star Wars fans have decided to start, you know, collecting that material into, you know, formats like this, unofficial, but still, really fucking great for someone who collects or who has a love for physical media. This stuff, or stuff like this, is good. And now for the big one. I don't know how many of you are familiar with supernatural encounters, but I have the paperback and hardcover. Now, when I bought these at the time, these were the only editions, but then Legends Con happened and you got an exclusive paperback and hardcover for that convention, but still, I was really happy to support this book's release. When I first heard about it, I just knew I had to get this book. It was in development for a while. Now, finally released. I'll link to StarWarsTimeline.net. That site will do a much better job at explaining the situation when it comes to this book better than I could. But for all intents and purposes, this stuff, or Supernatural Encounters itself, is canon to the EU. And I mean, just like, look at the size of this fucking thing. It's a huge book with pictures, too. I've heard it described as the Silmarillion for Star Wars. Basically, fucking Bible of sorts. But like I said, I encourage people to do their own research on Supernatural Encounters. People can explain it better than me. But still, very, very happy to have this. Originally, I only got the hardcover, but then I figured, this might be my only chance to get the paperback. I haven't looked on eBay to see if any of these have shown up there. And plus, I mean, you can read it for free online anyway. But yeah, really, really happy to have these. I've been waiting for Supernatural Encounters to come out for a while. I'd be really happy to read these. From what I've seen and heard, this goes into a lot of obscure Star Wars lore. It even connects to non-Star Wars material. So, these are going to be interesting reads. But what do you all think? What did you think of the stuff I acquired for this update? Is there anything I should get sooner rather than later? Let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, this is Captain Henson, signing off.